Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? It is another quick look at a Marvel Crisis Protocol unboxing from Aegisbrand Studios, and we are going to be taking a look at the newest, well, one of the newest releases from our Atomic Mass games with Marvel Crisis Protocol, and that is Ghostrider. So you can see he is CP27, although these numbers seem to be meaning a little bit less because things kind of are all over the place with actual releases these days. So we're just going to crack open into it. And just remember, like all these unboxes, it's not actually a review of the model and, what it does in the game, although I will start to do a little bit more focus on that as well. This is more of a review on, the actual miniature itself more than anything else. Just because, always love taking a good look at some fresh models. And right off the bat, I'm really liking the look of the tokens here. So let us take a quick look down here at everything. And I'm not going to bore you with my opinion on the tokens, because if you've watched any of these videos, you know my idea on or my stance on the tokens. I like them. So the cards themselves, really nice. I am learning more and more about the game as well, and I gotta say, like right off the bat, Ghostrider being a 5 threat, I like his health, his defense, solid across the board right there. Even his attacks, his basic strike right there. Dealing 6 dice at a range 3 is quite nice, and having the hex option in there as well. I'm really liking the beam attack on Flames of Hell for 2 damage. The Penance Stare is an interesting one at 5 power. The fact that you add extra dice for how much power they have as well, that's kind of neat. You can actually really punish somebody for storing up a lot of power there. And you can kind of suck their power away as well, which is really nice. And he's on a big base, so having the ability to do a large movement as well for 3 movement, especially outside of his regular actions, really nice. All in all, it's really nice, character. Looking forward to use him. I'm not really that familiar with Ghostrider in the comics, so whether or not that accurately reflects him, I'm not entirely sure. Got a couple cards here. So typical stuff. I'm not well versed enough that I'm really going to go over these here, but it does look like there's some decent things there, and it does look like there is another objective card that comes with it. And this one is, let's see, is this an extraction or? Either way, it's a 19 threat. Okay, it's a secure right there. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, this is what I'm always looking forward to, and that is the model itself. So right off the bat, it is coming on a big base, but given that it's got the motorcycle, it's got to be on a big base. And right there, okay, so I'm really happy about this. That chain, there was a lot of talk and worry that the chain was going to be all these individual links. And I got to say, Atomic Mass Games continues to learn when it comes to making these models, which is great. It looks like the bike is in a few pieces here. So that's not too bad. The pieces look pretty straightforward to put together. Ghostrider himself looks really simple. We got the torso, 2 arms, 2 legs. Looks like head. So it actually looks really simple to assemble. And we go back to the pose here, and you can see, the pose he's got. The bike is sort of peeling back on its rear wheel there. So, we're going to do the typical thing. I'm going to get this assembled, and we're going to take a quick look at that model once it's finished. So, we have Ghostrider assembled, and I gotta say, there are things that I like about this model, and things that I really dislike about this model. Right off the bat, one of the things I really like about this model is that they actually thought ahead, and you can actually assemble Johnny Blaze, or not Johnny Blaze, what is his name? Whatever. Johnny Blaze. Okay. You can actually assemble Johnny Blaze separate from the motorcycle. So right off the bat, that's really nice because, there's a way I'm going to want to paint the motorcycle versus Ghostrider himself. Now, something I'm actually not too keen on is his chain whip. And you can see here, yeah, look at that go. This thing is so going to get broken at some point. He is going to be a nightmare to transport. It looks nice, but yeah, that is a very, very flimsy piece of plastic there. So that's a little disappointing there. It does make me a little worried on transportation and use. Gonna have to baby him a little bit. Let's just get in a little bit closer. The model itself, there's some nice details. You can see the biker jacket, you can see the flame details. They're getting a lot better at keeping the gaps to a minimum, which is really nice. One complaint I do have, once it focuses in again, his head obviously came in three parts. There's the skull, and then there's a top part of the flame and a bottom part of the flame. Now, I'm not sure what the mentality behind that design choice is. It's a little annoying, but at least it's not the same difficulty as, say, like Captain Marvel's arms or Shuri's gloves or some hair on some of the earlier models. So it's not too bad. Contact points, pretty good. Everything's socketed in really nicely. That's something I've got to give them a lot of credit for. Atomic Mass Games has done an excellent job making sure that things socket in, and you get a nice clean fit there, which is excellent. I could have done with a slightly bigger contact point for the chain. It's just the sort of the top of his knuckles there that glues onto it. I think it'll hold, but we'll see. The bike itself, looks good. There's not a lot of details to it. The flame on the wheel is quite nice. There's enough of a flat edge on the bottom or on the rear wheel that allows it to support the pose of it, like rearing back. The one contact point, or not the one contact point, but there is the one hand of Ghostrider on the handlebars for the bike. I kind of wish that it was completely separate, so I could have done a full paint job of Johnny Blaze separate of the bike, but it is what it is. This piece feels a little flimsy right here. Like, it just has a little tiny contact point right up there, which it'll suffice, but because it's rearing up, there is a little bit of give on it. So, I mean, that is a point of concern right there. All in all, the model itself, it's a fine model. I mean, I'm not particularly attached to Ghostrider or Johnny Blaze or anything like that, but it's a fine model. It fits together really nicely, as you can see right here, but there's just a couple elements of it that just have me concerned for things like transportation and use. And I think that's always going to be one of the problems with models like this. The more dynamic the model is, especially when you're dealing with elements like chains and everything like that, unfortunately, you start running out of contact points, you start running out of ways to reinforce it, and you do get things like that, and things like the bike sort of being a little flimsy to at the top there. But at the very least, once I can get settled back on here again, he's going to be pretty straightforward and easy to paint. It's nice that I can sort of separate the main body, because quite often when you get bikes, like quite often the legs are attached to the bike itself. So having that sort of separation is really rather nice. And, he's going to be interesting to paint. What I am thinking about doing is not going with the typical, like, red flames. I saw this blue flame design online that I really liked on the Marvel Crisis Protocol groups. I think I might try something like that. I've always enjoyed the blue flame on these sort of designs as well. And, just something to maybe stand out from the typical stuff. But anyway, yeah, so there we go. That is Ghostrider. Oh, he just fell off there. That is Ghostrider for Marvel Crisis Protocol from Atomic Mass Games. And I'll get him back on here eventually. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. I am hoping to roll out some more than just unboxings over the next little while. But yeah, just follow me on social media, Aegisbrand Studios, and we'll definitely do some more content. And until next time, happy wargaming.